I just feel like I'm so tuned in to you today and everyone. It's just like, this is amazing. I wanted to ask about integrity and consistency. So the premise of my question is, when we allow ourselves integrity, which is when we hold ourselves accountable, and we are aware of our feelings, and we are aware of our awareness, and we are consistent about that, and it's almost like a dialogue that takes place, where we start a dialogue with how we speak with ourselves about any number of situations or experiences. It's like we're really present, and I think that is what builds self-confidence and self-love. And I'm wondering if you could just speak into that, if I'm right about
Well,
that.
we want to hear your definition. We want to hear your definition of integrity and your definition of that which is responsibility.
So integrity would be holding myself accountable to doing what I know is best for me. And I don't often use the word responsibility in my life. I don't like that word. What I used was consistency. So integrity is, doing what's right for me and holding myself accountable for it. And then consistency.
And so doing what's right for you, seems like a lot of labor. In other words, that is a natural state for you to look for more and more balance. And so why would that be something to keep account on?
I guess you have a valid point there, but I just feel like it feels good to me to know that I'm doing.
Well, so who will be in trouble if you're not accountable for what's right for you?
Me. I will be in trouble, and I don't want to be in trouble.
And so why would you give yourself an option to be in trouble to begin with? We're playing here with you a little bit with these words that you're choosing, but why would you give yourself an option to ever be in trouble? In other words, keeping the account, which is measuring with what we've been talking about the whole evening today, this measurement, too much measurement and too much accounting is what brings you to really not be able to have that which you call integrity. That which is the place of you being so integrated about your unfocused and focused experience, because you cannot have integrity and be fully integrated when you're so measuring so much so. In other words, that's why you often call that to be a human side, and it's not a human side. The human is integrity. The human is integrity. The human is integrity. And that which is measurement is only one part of it. That which is accountability is only one part of it. And you making a career out of it emphasizes that, and therefore sets you up sometimes, and sometimes more often, to have that which is not really a satisfying right for you experience, because you're counting too much.
I feel like sometimes I get an impulse to do something that may not be like the best choice.
And so,
but
this is your choice too. You are making this choice because this choice will get you to clarify your wanting. This choice will get you to ask the question. In other words, you're trying to you're trying to be in an answer more often, but you're pressing the question. In other words, you're pressing the measurement and accounting, which is more a question, and you want to be in a place of answer. And if you will only allow your questions to roll out naturally, for accounting to happen naturally, for measurement to happen naturally, and then not stay there for too long, then you will be set for predominantly satisfying life experience, which is your, if you will, birthright.
Yes, and I do. I feel like I've actually let loose a lot of the question part, and I'm not.
And the way you get about that, the way you get about it is by having your accountability. In other words, not holding yourself for any standard of how long you're to feel good or how long are you for not to ask the question. In other words, holding on accountably or responsibly holding on to that which is the answer brings you the resistance, and then you're pretending that you're not asking the question, or you're trying not to ask the question that naturally wants to be asked. Curiosity that naturally wants to happen. And so you trying to keep yourself accountable to stay in a place of answer by holding on cannot happen, because it defies everything that exists, perspective that's embodied within you and therefore integrated in that which is simply brilliant human.
Yeah. Okay. And so then, how does the self-confidence and the self-love play and dance with all of that which you just said?
That which is your self-confidence and that which is your self-love are in the experiences of the dance of that integration. It is not for you to be only... When you're in the self, you're inevitably measuring. When you're in the self, you're inevitably having that experience, which is interaction and communication and outwards and comparing and measuring and comparing and measuring and comparing and measuring. And that the love part is the balance out for that. Your love is the balance for yourself. Your confidence is the balance for yourself, for that perspective. In other words, the self-confidence is not the answer. The self-confidence is not the answer. The self-love is not the answer. The balance between the self and love, the self and confidence, the self and answer, the question and answer, the focus and unfocus, the self and unfocus, the self and answer, the self and the love, the self and the thrill, the self and enthusiasm, the self as satisfaction, the self and the bliss. In other words, all of that is balanced out from your perspectives. And so it always exists there. Is your focus more in the self part, or is it more in the love part? Or is it beautifully so integrated where you feel equal value in self and love, and equal value in self and that which is confidence? For as that which is self will always continue to measure and process and keep you really operating in your experience through that which is comparison, and allow you to launch so many wonderful clarities of wanting, your desires, that then you can see and realize when you go back to balance. It is not as black and white. In other words, you're consistently making new colors and new experiences as you go about your focus and unfocus, focus and unfocus, focus and unfocus. And so there is no destination self-care. There is no destination self-love. There is no destination self-confidence. It's always in the place of process where you're discovering new layers of measurement and therefore new layers of love. New layers of measurement and therefore new layers of confidence, new layers of measurement and then new layers of care. And so that is really what integration is all about.
Oh, that is so good. And I love how you just helped me clarify my own thoughts around taking self-confidence or self-love or self-care and separating those words, because it's that acknowledgement where there's self and then there's other things, and that's the gift that we're given as we are humans here. We get to be in the process, and we can choose which process we want to take on in the moment. And you gave me such clarity just now. I just never thought about it that way, and I completely understand what you just said, and I'm in love with it.
You are that blendedness embodied at all times. You have so many opportunities in every moment to experience those angles. And sometimes you're more in one and then the other, but it's all you at all times. And sometimes, at some point, you come to be so practiced at it, so consistent and practiced at it, that you do not know if you're in the question or in the answer, because they feel the same.
Yeah, that's what I've been experiencing, for sure. Thank you. I love you. Thank you.